Hey, what's up? David here with After VFX and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be creating this dust storm scene using After Effects, and this tutorial has a lot of techniques and components composited. And in the next tutorial, actually, I'm going to show you how I set this scene up using Blender. Anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at what we're going to be creating. Okay, let's go ahead and put this into a new comp here. And what I'm going to do is create two null objects. Okay, and we'll just Control D for that one. We'll call this one right, and call this one left. Okay, and we're going to add Mocha to our render layer, and we'll jump into the scene setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and just pick a good frame here. So maybe about here is pretty good. And let's just zoom in here. I'm just going to draw a rough spline here, like that. And we'll draw another one around here as well. Okay, and once we've done that, we can go ahead and track backwards. Okay, so now that the tracking is done, let's go ahead and just go to our starting point here. Okay, so once we've done that, we can go ahead and just call this right, and call this left. Okay, we'll just save this, close it, and we'll come over to the tracking data and create the tracking data. First, our right, we'll make it transform, apply it to the right null object, and apply export. Same goes for our left one. Apply. Okay, so now you can see we have a bunch of track points here. So it kind of missed the tracking data from this point. So I'm just gonna maybe delete all this keyframes from this point. And then just scrub along here. Just maybe focus on one at a time. Okay, like that. Looks pretty good. And we don't really need the scale for keyframes here, so just delete the scale. Okay, cool. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and just create some dust. So I'm going to hit Control Y, call this dust, okay, get the particular effect, and we'll just solo this. Let's make this around 300, make it a box, and let's just turn up the emitter size for the X, Y, and Z axis. Mostly X and Y. Like that. Okay, and if we come down to the particle settings, we can turn up the size so that, and maybe turn up the size random a bit, and opacity down to like 3. So now we've got this puffy cloud action happening. Just going to turn that all the way up. And maybe opacity random to like 15. Go to the physics. And let's just turn up the wind, maybe about 750. Okay, so that we got some wind action going. Maybe the lifetime, about 5. I'm just going to slide this across. Move that across. So we always get some particles happening. Okay. Just thinking if anything else. And just let's turn on motion blur. And make sure the motion blur is turned on. Make this half res. Okay. And for the color, I'm just going to make it a bit darker. So maybe about a little bit of a gray into that. Okay. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and import some particles here. Scale these up. Okay. And let's start with this one first. So I'm going to add a curve to this. Just darken that a bit. And maybe add a bit of fast box blur. Make it a bit puffy. Like that. Okay. And what I can do is time stretch this. Maybe about 80% is pretty good. Just slide that across. Same goes for this one. I'm just going to copy these effects onto this one and reset this like that. Okay, read pH pixels for both of these. Okay, so now that we've got this happening, and I'll just set these to screen. Okay. One more thing for the particular, I might add a curves adjustment. I might just add a bit of alpha to this and just lower the brightness a bit. And maybe I can add some bit of noise to this. Maybe about 10%. Okay. Cool, that's looking pretty good. Now I'm just going to add a bit of a sunlight to this. So Control Y for the sun. I'm going to use optical flares. Go to the options. And I use crazy light. And we'll set this to add. Put it underneath everything. And because this has an alpha channel, I can just composite it on top of here. I'll make this about 200 and make this about 130 like that. Okay, I'll duplicate this, move this on top, and I'll reset this and go into the options. And I'm just going to use this blue light as our headlight, so I might just hide all of this. Don't really need all of this. Okay. And so I'll just add a dirty texture to this. And illumination radius. Turn that up. Like that. Okay. And let's change this to about 10. And we'll turn the brightness down to 50. We'll just paste it on top of our car here. Around here. Like that's pretty good. I might adjust the brightness for this. Okay, like that. Duplicate it, and I'll just move this across to the side here. I'll just solder these. Like that. And call this one left headlight. Call this right headlight. Okay, and I'll just pick with those to our tracking data so that it follows our headlights. Just move this across a bit. Now from here, just want it to get a bit So what I'm going to do is just set a keyframe for this, move forward, and make it 30, 50, maybe 75. Okay, and hit U. Just smooth these out. Copy it and paste it on the right headline, like that. Okay. Now we just got this harsh edge, so what I can do is just draw a mask on top of the right headlight. F, feather that out. Okay. I'll just enlarge this. Okay. Same goes for this one. Just draw a mask. Feather that. Okay. Like that. So it should look like this. Now, one more thing I want to do is maybe just slide these keyframes a little earlier. And just make this about 15. Okay, like that. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Alright, one more thing I want to do before I go into the color correction is just create light rays from the headlights. So I'm going to make a new gray solid. I'll call this spotlight. We'll call this, I don't know, so we'll add the CC spotlight effect. Just drag us up here. That. And we'll just turn up the edge softness and intensity. Light only. Make it about 40. Okay, and we'll make a new solid. Call this fractal. Oops, we'll make this black, sorry. We'll add the fractal noise effect. We'll make this dynamic progressive. Just flatten this a bit. Transform it. Set the track matte to luma matte. So we get this action going. Might turn up the brightness a bit. Okay, like that. And then we'll just pre-compose these. So Control-Shift-C. I'll call this light ray. Hit OK. Alright. So now that that's done, we can add this to classic color dodge. And we'll put this underneath our sun. And we'll just add a solid composite first. Make it black. We'll add the exposure effect and just drop this down and maybe expose that up. So that we get some okay. And we'll just draw a quick mask around this area. And just and hit F, feather that out. Maybe that 30 pixels is good. Okay, like that. And maybe make this like a 3D layer. And I'm just going to switch the anchor point to up here. Okay, like that. And hit S. I'm just going to scale this on the x-axis. And maybe squeeze it out on the y. Z-axis, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Just trying to get this like that. Okay, just turn down the exposure. Okay, so it looks like that. And then what I can do is just scale this down in general and then move it across to my headlights here. So I'm just gonna push it down here and then hit W, just rotate it up like this. Maybe on the Z-axis as well. So it looks like a flat. Kind of looks flat, but since it's going to be superimposed, I think it will be just good enough. Okay, so it looks like that. Okay, and we can duplicate it, move it across here, like that. And we'll just connect these up to the nulls, like that. Okay, so should look something like that. I'm just going to do a quick preview for this. Okay, let's see this. Okay, not too bad. There's a few things I can change up here, so maybe turn this down to about 30%. Maybe the particles as well, maybe down to 75. And let's maybe just color correct this now. So let's go ahead and do Control Y, and we're going to move these underneath our headlights. I'll call it CC, and I'll call this vignette. Okay, move that up. I'll just get the curves. Just do our usual color correction techniques. Like that. And curves and tint, and I'm going to add a bit of a noise to this. So I'm just going to darken this. Maybe add a bit of red. Take away some blue. And I'm going to make this bit of an orange color. Okay. And we'll change this to about 35%. Okay. And we'll maybe add a bit of noise to this, maybe like 10% as well. Okay. Now with this, I might just adjust the light rays a little bit. So four. And same goes for this one. And I'll probably have to obviously color correct this. Just so that okay, and just add that as well. Okay, so it's not looking too bad. We can even just go ahead and adjust this. So let's block that, go into this comp, move across to the side here, and I can transform this to make this a little bit like that. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay. Just want to try and get this the right look. Yeah, that looks not too bad. Okay, cool. Just go back into this comp. Alright. And we can just add an unshot mask to this. Okay, so let's just do a quick preview. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, it's not looking too bad. I think I'll just leave it like that for now. You can adjust like the exposure for these, but I'm not going to go into too much detail for that. And I might actually just adjust my tint to make it a bit more orange. Yeah, so that we get like that nice dust storm effect. And to give it one final detail, we're going to add some camera movement to this. So drop your render to a new comp. And obviously we're going to scale this up a bit. So 105. And we'll get the wiggler. And we'll just set a keyframe from here all the way to the end. Maybe about here. And set another keyframe. And we'll change it to jagged. And just start playing with these. So I'm just going to maybe start off with maybe 8 by, let's go with 20. And hit apply. And see what that looks like. That doesn't actually look too bad. I think I might reduce the magnitude, but maybe keep the frequency. Okay, so let's go with 17, and let's go with 7. Okay, and let's just hit apply for that and see how that looks. Okay, so that looks actually pretty good. So that took way quicker than I anticipated, but yeah, just change and experiment with those values. Anyway, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was a little bit of a condensed one, but I really do hope you learned some new stuff from this. That's what it's all about, visual effects, just learning and growing together. But anyway, guys, my name's David. I hope you learned interesting techniques that you can use for your own creations. Please give a like if you like this video so people can find it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and be sure to hit that bell button to get the notifications. And comment down below if you have any questions. And I will see you in the next video.